Hey, what's going on YouTube? Going out this morning to go get some E85. Kind of giving y'all a ride along and letting y'all chime in just to see part of the travel I do to go get E85. But also too, you can do Q&A as well while I'm driving to kind of get you guys a little bit more involved. You can ask questions about whatever, and we'll just go from there. But right now we're leaving the house. We're heading to, I think, what is it, 3 or 4 towns over just to go get E85. And it's gonna take about 30 minutes or so. So it's gonna be an interesting ride, one way or the other. Hopefully a good way, not too bad. So kind of let y'all see where I'm at. Can't really see a whole lot, but we're just in traffic right now. And of course, I always have my dash cam on. Got that on Amazon, so I'll try to put a link of that in the description as well. It's pretty decent. It's a Rove R2 4K. I don't know if you can see that, but that's it right there. And of course, we always got to have a Hellcat Altima on the road with us. Yeah, this is my first time doing a live, so if I don't answer your questions in this format, I'll answer it in the comments. And yes, I do travel to a lot of customers. I have a 25-mile radius, and after that I charge, I think it was $40 an hour. I'm sorry, $40 at a flat rate of like 10 miles over that 25-mile radius. So it's still decent, a very good price still for somebody that's coming to you to work on your vehicle. What else about the business I can tell you? Because of certain guidelines, I can only work in certain places. Like certain apartment complexes, I can work. Well, I shouldn't say me. Majority of the time I have people that work under me that I send out to go do stuff. They go out, they do the job, and it's per the guidelines of wherever it is. For instance, if it's in a homeowners association, we had to abide by the bylaws that they have, and some of them don't allow you to work on vehicles in front of the home. And what we normally do is, if the garage is open and available, we'll move the vehicle into the garage. And we do take protective measures to protect your garage. We come equipped with, let's say for instance, drain equipment. We're doing an oil change or something like that. We'll bring everything we need, so cleanup will be easy, in other words. So that's the last thing we want to do is mess up property when we're doing work. And we remove the old parts, of course. We don't leave any old parts on property. We take everything with us. Whatever we bring with us, we take with us. And we try to leave everything better than it was before we got there. And what else? We minimize. I say it this way: we try not to damage people's personal property or damage their vehicles. Meaning, we try not to leave scratches. Like I said, we try to leave everything better than we started with. So if your car was dirty when we got there, it depends on who's out. They may actually clean it, depending on if, I'm not gonna say if they got it dirty, because it depends on if they had to touch your vehicle. We also use gloves while working on your vehicle, so we constantly rotate out and change gloves while we're working. Not only because of rips and tears, because most grease and oil, it holds trash in it, meaning like gravel, grit, dirt, what have you, and it can stick to your car. And we tend to travel with everything we kind of need when we're doing stuff like that, and the customers like it simply because we treating your stuff like it's ours, but better. The biggest thing I like about what I do is simply this: when we go out, we check everything. I mean everything, just to make sure everything is good to go. You know what I mean? Is it Core War? Hey, what's going on? Thank you for joining. Let's see, my goal in life. There's so many things, right? So, a lot of you know that I have kids, and it's to provide something for my family, a sort of legacy for them to keep going after I'm gone. So, I'm building something that they can use and pass down to their kids as well. So far, it's working. My kids were, well, one of them still is involved in my business. One of my kids, she's in Germany right now, and she used to schedule all of my appointments and everything for, like, let's say for instance, you make an appointment either on email or through phone call. She would schedule out that appointment, and we'll set you in on the schedule and go from there. And one of my other daughters, she was my assistant for a couple of years. She would go out on jobs with me and work. And it's hard to believe that you could find a girl that was willing to work on cars and get dirty. But I enjoyed it because I literally have I don't have any blood sons, and over time I've gained, you know, I don't like saying stepsons and stuff like that, but they're interested in it, but I don't see them with the same passion that I have with working on vehicles, so to speak. So for them, they like cars, but mechanic wise, they're not quite there. But for the purpose of it, my daughters, believe it or not, like working on cars, no matter if it's something big or small. I'll give you a quick story. When a lot of you might know that I am retired military. So, of course, one of my kids wanted to join the military. Right now, she's in Germany. Before then, she was in Korea. So, what she was doing over there, she used to work on her husband's car there, and he was like, "How do you know how to do all of this stuff?" And she would tell him, "Hey, my dad used to make sure we knew everything about the car before we left home. Before my kids learned how to drive, I had them changing tires, doing maintenance, not major maintenance, like maybe oil change here and there, and then they would check oil, make sure that everything was at the right level, check transmission fluid. They were doing oil changes when they were about 14 or 15 years old. And it was something that they would see me do and was like, hey, I want to try that. So me being a parent, I let them try it, and they kind of, I didn't expect them to do that. I expected them to be, more girly, but believe it or not, they're girly. Both of those, my older daughters, they do have kids. So it's just something that they'll pass down to their kids as well. It'll be interesting, and they're all into cars, motorcycles, and everything that runs, I guess you can say. Pretty cool. Turn back around, let y'all see what I'm driving. Some people like the scenery out here. It's not bad, but today is, let's see, 91 degrees. So yeah, we got a good little ride today. We're heading down to Alabaster, and this is one of the places where I get my my E85 from. Right now, there's not really a whole lot of places around that sell 85, so I have to drive a little bit, not a whole lot, but to me it's like not that far, so I do it. It gives me a chance to drive my truck a little bit, and get ready for the track on Thursdays. Doing that, it's just something to clear my mind. Driving actually clears my mind on a lot of things that's going on around me. Regardless of what type of mood I'm in, regardless of how I'm feeling, I just drive a little bit and it kind of clears my mind. Oh, look. Durango RT. Nice. If y'all remember, I did a review on a Durango RT. I wasn't too enthused with it, which I had my reasoning. Oh yeah, I'm going to get fuel. Also to my E85, I try to get most of the fuel out, so that way I'm running almost, I'm not going to say 100% E85, but as close to pure as running E85 as I possibly can. It's not even that late and these people cannot drive today. Oh, I got a comment from another subscriber. I can't really say what it said on here because it came in through another I'll tell you about it later, but it involves police. Yeah, I know where the closest gas station is. I think right now we're about 18 miles, right around 18 miles from the actual place where I get my fuel at, my 85. Now, if I was in Georgia, the metro area of Atlanta, there are gas stations everywhere that has the 85. But for now, I deal with this one place, but there's another one north of me going towards Huntsville. I haven't been there yet to see how their fuel is. Cold Cortez, hi. Core War, hi again. Kevin the Brew, I hope I said your name right, but I hope that answered your question. Also too, I'm planning on doing another video to where I'm basically going over all of the cars that I've owned. And I've owned a lot. And I want to be kind of clear about it. I've owned over 30 cars, believe it or not. And right now I still own a lot because I'm constantly buying things, not necessarily flipping them. I usually buy them for myself and keep them, or either some of them myself. So what was that Celestial one? The E85 near me, I think is, I want to say, the last time I looked at it, it was 242. It might be lower now, I'm not sure, but I'll find out when we get here in about 20 minutes or so, and I'll put that in a video, and that way we can all see for, you know, how much it is at that particular moment on this particular day, which is the 20th of July. But the RE85 that's here where I go and get it from is not really ever that high. I think the lowest I've ever seen it since I've been getting it from this particular gas station. And this was about a month and a half ago. I think I paid $1.90 a gallon for it. Yes, thank you. Definitely. I always try to travel safe, and I'm always on a swivel, I guess you could say. So appreciate that, Celestial one. Oh man. Oh wow. The lowest you guys got is 230, but 240 at the moment. Well, where you at? Out of curiosity. Because right now I'm south of Birmingham. Oh, Arkansas. I was in Arkansas a few weeks ago. I was out that way, and I was driving a Durango we had, and just trying it out, see how it drives, and, you know, especially travel, because I do travel a lot. I do have another channel, and it is Cruising with the Carlisles with a Z, CRUIZING with the Carlisles. Oh, okay, Spark. A pretty big business. Okay. So I guess you do a lot of over the road. Which over the road travel, they pay pretty good. There's a lot of my cousins, they drive trucks too. They have one that drives for Mercedes in Alabama. What he does is pretty simple, I guess, the way he puts it. But to me, it's a little, hey, it's a lot of travel, but he gets to go home at night. Oh, Congratulations, 3 years. That's what's up. But yeah, congratulations. You like it? Or is it just something just to, like, I get a lot of people say, oh, I just work this job just to pay the bills. Is it, you think like a career job or? Oh man. Okay, we're not far from where we need to be. So we're almost there. Cruising a little bit. I'm gonna go through the other side of Mexico in a second. Yeah, traffic isn't too bad today going here. Normally on 65 South in Alabama, once you come through Birmingham and you drop down a little bit, it starts getting congested in this area going towards Montgomery. So this isn't the bottleneck part of it yet, but when it comes up, you can kind of see it, but we're not going to go through that part. Okay, that's what's up. So you have a flexible schedule with the company. That's what's up. Because I know a lot of people that do it. They like, I was using my cousins as a reference. They're not that flexible. They have their I guess they are, in a sense. They are flexible in a sense, because what they do, they have a designated day of the week they have to be at work. But he does, I want to say one of them that drives a Mercedes, he does local delivery. Yeah, California traffic is crazy. Don't remind me. Especially in the LA area. I remember the first time I went through there, when I was married to my ex-wife. We used to go to Sacramento from Fort Hood. And that was the crazy. How in the world do you have traffic at 2 a.m. where it looks like it's still bumper to bumper in California coming through LA? That was us coming from I-10 going to 5. California traffic, I wouldn't put on anybody. And the last time I was out in California was about, I want to say 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago. That's when I moved my oldest daughter back home. She graduated college and everything, and she didn't want to be out there. All right, we're almost to our exit. Okay. Oh, okay. That's what's up. I've seen a lot of people starting to do DoorDash as, like, I'm not gonna say as an extended job opportunity, but they do it as a side hustle. Especially around through here, through these parts. This part is actually growing because this is a suburb of Birmingham. I consider it a suburb, even though it's a different county, because you have people that are crowded in Birmingham that are trying to be in Birmingham, but they move here because it was more like a lot of farmland. Yeah, California's bad, man. I know the few times that I had to go through there. I actually did a lot of recruiting out there too in Reno. So a lot of times we had to go to Sacramento to take the recruits there and process for MIPS. So yeah, 2018. Let me me see, 2018, what was I? I think I was getting set up here in Alabama. But 2019, we went out there and did a little visiting. It was pretty good, nothing bad. Not bad at all. Yeah, believe it or not, out here, our neighbors are pretty nice. I have a what's the nice way to say it? We have a mixed neighborhood. It's not just one particular family type that's there. I want to say everybody's cool. Everybody looks out for each other. Meaning, like, hey, if your neighbor's outside, we speak. We bring in each other's trash cans. You know, it's pretty cool. You know, nobody's, you know, trying to do better than the other person. Everybody's looking out for each other like we're just one big family. Yes, the word. That's the word I was looking for, culture. A big melting pot. But everybody's cool. The crime is not bad in my area. You don't hear a lot of, you know, shooting, people drag racing in the neighborhood and stuff like that. What's going on, Caribbean Fisherman? I was waiting on you to jump in. I got to come back down there, man. I don't know when right now because I got a lot going on here. But brother, I will definitely see you when I come back down on that end. So make sure you save some fish for me, some conch, everything. Don't forget me. But I will definitely let you know when I'm heading back out that way. I need a break right now, but right now I can't because I got a lot of stuff going on. But yeah. All right, now we're pulling up to the gas station to see what this E85 is looking like as far as price. And it is a raceway. Okay, the regular unleaded is $2.69, but what's kind of interesting about this gas station, they don't post the price on the billboard like they do the rest of the stuff. It's posted at the pump. So let me go down here because the last time I went to that pump, it froze up on me. All right, let's see what we got here. Got our E85. Definitely gonna make that money, man. Yeah, it's a pain, man, because you gotta get out and see what the price is and check out everything on top of that. So let's see what we got. Okay, so this is my first time seeing it in a few days. It's $2.19, which is still not bad. All right, brother. Caribbean Fisherman, you're gonna have my lobster and conch ready for me. That's what's up. So we have a lot of people that tell me that there's a lot of myths about E85, and a lot of people that tell you, hey, it depends on your vehicle and how often you drive it. So one thing that I had a guy tell me, like, E85, if you do short starts with it and stuff, it kind of, you know, fouls the oil and fouls up everything else inside of the engine. No, it depends on your well, I will say this is what I've noticed. It depends on where you live, for one thing. If you live in the Florida area, of course, because you have a lot of moisture there, so it is pretty bad. It builds up in the oil system because moisture does go inside the crankcase during startups and everything else. Okay, I need to come back to the Virgin Islands, St. Croix especially. Uh-oh, what's going on here? Okay, put it in manually today. Yeah, A lot of people, they want, as far as the 85 go. Let's see. Can't let y'all see my stuff. Okay. So yeah, that's the only downfall to E85 that I've ever seen. Oh, really? So how often do you Equinox is a daily driver, right? Yeah, a lot of y'all have my phone number anyway, so it didn't matter. Oh my God. Okay. This is rough with one hand, let me tell you. Somebody crossed up all the lines. Yeah, the humidity is something else, man, because we don't think about it. And then two, you probably use a synthetic oil as well. Caribbean fisherman, I am an Alabama man, but I do have family in Florida. I lived in Florida when I was in high school. So I still go back every now and again. I got family there, like I said. So yeah, I miss it. I need to go back home. That's my other home. Right now I'm in Alabama. Yeah, that full synthetic, it draws moisture like crazy. So that explains why you might have a lot of moisture in your crankcase. And yes, Arkansas is humid, very humid, matter of fact. Um, what was that? I was in Memphis, I want to say a few weeks ago, and it was just sweaty. There's no other way to describe it. Because like now, I think it's getting ready to rain here, and I just feel it. Yeah, if you don't use the 85 all the time, what I normally do, uh, for the fuel side, you can use heat, and that works good. And then I use seafoam too during oil changes. Thank you, Caribbean fisherman, my brother from another mother. Yes, we need all the blessings we can get, man. Matter of fact, when did I lock the door? This thing has this auto lock feature, well, anti-jacking features, locks the doors. So as you can see, I'm getting ready to change my oil right now. So after I get this fuel, that's what I'm putting in. So I had a synthetic blend, high mileage. So right now we're at $32 at 14, 15 gallons. So Caribbean fisherman, bless you and your family too, brother. We'll get back together when I come down on that end. I will definitely hit you up. But yeah, I always try to maintain my vehicles, even though some of the newer vehicles that I have doesn't require oil changes until like 4 and 5,000 miles, especially the BMW I got. Um, I've never gone that far with the full synthetic in it. I always try to change it around 3,000 to 3,500 miles. That way I know for a fact that there's no sludge buildup, none of that stuff. Wow. So you got the big four cylinder or the V6? Hmm. Oh man. Now I'm gonna tell you up front about those Equinoxes. My sister had two, and the thing that happened with hers was they had you might be familiar with. They did a recall on it a few years ago because what they were doing, the front seals were going bad from the factory. Oh Lord, yeah, time and chain issues. That is the number one cause because a lot of times they don't tell you. You can get a little bit heavier oil for it, and it'll help the timing chain guy from wearing out. And that's one of the biggest problems. $60 even, almost 60.95 for 27 gallons. Let y'all know I'm not joking. When I make those little shorts, when I'm at the gas station, this is what I pay. Now, if I was getting the premium, I'd be at about maybe $90. So yeah, but nothing against the Equinox. But if you can get the V6 one with the 3.6, I have a the Cadillac version of it. The not the SRX. Man, it is the SRX. I'm sorry. Um, what happens with that thing? They're very temperamental. The first iteration of the 3.6 when they came out in '07, I had a Saturn with the 3.6, and those were terrible. I mean, terrible, terrible. They use those across the board. Uh, oh yeah, nobody's ever heard the truck for real, for real. Hold on a second. Not an air ride. I want to turn on. But yeah, dual exhaust. But yeah. Oh yeah, when I lived there, I remember it being that high. I remember in '08, the gas was like it was super high. Scaring little kids. Thank you, thank you. But yeah, those 3.6s, man, and California gas, they're terrible. But but yeah, man, the funniest thing about the 3.6 when it first came out, you get one with less than no, I'll tell the truth. You can get one brand new, and it will be you'll think it has no issues, nothing's going on. Still a new car, nothing bad. These things were slinging time and change like nobody's business, simply because the way everything was set up on the inside of it. The biggest thing was, yeah, I know, right? But the biggest thing that was going on with them. Oh, sorry about that. The phone was ringing. Yeah, I'm sorry, my phone was ringing. But yeah, when that happened, I'll go back and say it again. With the first iteration of the 3.6 that GM came out with around '07, '08, they sold on the '08 models mostly. Um, what they were doing, you would have less than 30,000 miles, give or take, and it would have issues throwing code saying there's a camshaft correlation issue or some type of timing issue. And what was going on, the tensioners were falling, the tensioners were falling apart inside of the engine, and in some instances, they were throwing the timing chains completely off. So I had one that I worked on, and the lady didn't believe me. And this was in the Cadillac um, STS. That's when they put them in there too. And The lady maintained the car to the T. She kept the oil changed in it, and she did everything that she should. And I was shocked, not because she's a woman. It was more or less that she knew enough about her car to say, "Hey, something's wrong." But with her car, what I learned was that that was the first one I've ever seen throw the timing chain completely out and threw it through the valve cover. And she drove home on 3 cylinders without even knowing it. And she was like, "Oh, my car doesn't have any power, didn't have anything." And I, did a nice in-depth check for her, and I looked and I was like, "Hey, there's a big gaping hole in your timing chain." Well, not the timing chain, but the valve cover. Because oh man. So she didn't know what it was. She heard the noise and she thought she ran over something. But in reality, the timing chain was breaking. Okay. Dude, I don't want to race. Why do everybody think I want to race? This little guy right here, he's trying to, dude, I'm not trying to race. I promise I'm not. I'm minding my business. I'm doing my live stream right now. Oh my God, yeah. James Dogmar, boy, oh boy, let me say, that was beyond. Because I didn't expect it. She didn't expect it. Nobody expected that. So, it just happens like that. And a lot of time when we experience stuff like that, it people. Yes. A very interesting surprise, my brother. Very interesting. And let me see, what was another instance? I had a guy who had what's it, GMC Acadia. His was an '08, and his did the same thing, but it didn't destroy the valve cover. And believe it or not, on those 3.6 engines that GM has, the water pump is a nightmare because that thing has three timing chains in there, three. And sometimes if one breaks, you might get away with it and still run. If two break, just throw the whole car away. But usually, if one of the timing chains break, you can kind of run it without bending a valve, I guess you can say. But it's gonna have issues still. It may not be that bad, or you might look up and it won't hurt anything. I've only seen one to where it didn't bend a valve. I think because they were trying to start the car and it broke. So it wasn't at any high RPM or anything. So starting, I think it was like maybe at 200 RPM, 2 to 300, for the starter to turn the engine. But yeah, I've seen a lot of strange stuff. I've pictures of different jobs that I've had my guys go out and do, and my daughter did a few strange ones too. And I think one customer had Bluetooth brakes. I can't even make that up. I still have the pictures in my phone from it. They drove the car so long with no brakes. I'm trying to figure out how to make it a video because this is old and all I have was just like still pictures of it. I'm not racing you, Acura. I'm minding my business. The police are out here somewhere. Mm. Yeah, in that instance, yeah, that's a big problem with it. And oh yeah, see, look, told you, police. But yeah, that tend to be an issue too, simply because it's trying to push the pressure that should be going out the tailpipe back through the intake, and it's a fight in the process on the engine, and it tends to put a lot of stress in it. Um, your particular engine, they sell out fast here because everybody has them here, and everybody's picking them up left and right because they use that engine in almost every GM car. Yes, yes, the 85 too. But if you can, this is gonna sound crazy. I don't know how mechanically inclined you are. If you can find one in Arkansas, this is the advice I give you. If you can find a wrecked Equinox in Arkansas, maybe rear end damage, side damage, or anything like that with a decent motor, buy the whole car. Because if you do that, you can just take the whole engine and transmission out, and you can still junk the body and get a little bit of your money back. And then you'll have a backup engine. And I don't know if you know anybody there near you that does engine rebuilds. Engine rebuilds are kind of high right now because I had experience yesterday. I'm having a lot of trouble with tariffs and everything with trying to get parts. Um, it's just not hitting like dealerships, it's hitting small businesses as well. And I hate that because I had a customer that had to wait 2 weeks for a starter for a Camaro with a 3.6. And she can figure out what was taking so long. Like, it doesn't take that long to install the starter, but it takes a long time for it to come in. And that was through GM, through one of their subsidiary companies. And the wholesaler's not going to give a discount simply because they trying to keep all the money they can without losing anything. So right now, discounts are at a negative. Yeah. Oh, okay, I got you. Now, we're well, yeah, you got to get your money situation first. I got you. So, what I would do, there's Equinox now. What would I do? What I would do in your case is I just have, if you use Facebook Marketplace, just have your alert set up for Marketplace to where if a particular year run of your vehicle comes up, just have it set up as an alert to where it'll alert you if it comes up. And then if you put in a price too, that's a little trick I learned a few years ago. You put in a price with an alert for the particular vehicle, it'll it'll go directly to your phone and let you know. I do the same thing with the pull apart this year. That'll probably be my next live video when I go to pull apart again. Because I with my last video that I did at pull apart, I had lots of people like, hey, where's this one at? And a lot of people inbox me through my email or they sent me texts. And I'm like, who's this? But if it's something out there, I'll let you know, hey, this is yours, or you might be able to use this, and I can get you a price breakdown on the majority of the stuff that's out there. Sometimes you spend like maybe 400 or 500 on an engine at our pull apart here, because where I live, the closest ones, you have one in Birmingham by the airport, you have one in Montgomery, which is about an hour and a half from here, and then you have another one that is kind of reputable in Atlanta. Well, actually, two in Atlanta. They're pretty good. A lot of the cars that they have, they're wrecked. So what I used to use as a rule of thumb, if they're wrecked, that means they were running before they came in. And you can almost put money on it that the engine and transmission are good in them. But in some cases, you have insurance jobs. That's the only thing that's bad. So with situations like that, I would take out like my jump box for power, and I have a jumper set to where I can jump the starter and turn the engine over with just my jump box. Or you can go out and turn it with a big wrench if they strip it off. You know, I've seen that numerous occasions. And then too, a lot of the junkyards they'll send you messages and stuff when they got everything out that you might be searching for. Because I subscribe to Pull Apart alert system as well. So if I got a customer that's trying to find something in particular, or if I'm looking for something in particular for my cars, that's our lovely mall. That is the Hoover Galleria. It's pretty decent. I'm taking an alternate route going back home. But yeah, I've been in a situation where I had funds as issues as well. I understand the struggle. I understand the fight to keep stuff going until you get stuff to keep going. But yeah, I go through struggles too at times. Like right now, I believe a lot of small businesses are going to suffer with everything that's going on the world stage with tariffs and prices going up. Yeah, I do this. I do this for a living, and believe it or not, my channel was just. I used to post a lot of racing videos. Um, I don't race anymore.